Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. This is my advanced version or step-up version using the tree ring hybrid embossing folder. And so let's get started. I'm going to show you real quick what all we're going to use. This is a repeat, but for those of you who have kind of skipped videos and this is the first one you've seen, this is the Fluffiest Friends bundle that I'm using, and it is online exclusive. If you go into my website and shop online exclusive products, you will find this bundle. And if you purchase the bundle together, it's 10% savings. So it's well worth it. It also has extra dies that you can use, which is really cute, the balloons and the hive and things like that. So we're going to use this for the actual beaver and the beaver cutout. And then this background die that I used, it's the Thoughtful Expressions dies, and it pairs with the Thoughtful Expressions stamp set. You will see me use the Hummingbird stamp set later on, but for right now, I just wanted this really awesome shape. And it is, if you don't like the stamp set, it's well worth the dies because you get this die set here that has multiple layers, multiple sizes, and then you have this really cool label as well that you can use as a background. And this flower here is just really cool when it's cut out. So, and then the rest of these cut out the actual stamped images from the stamp set. So, but this is Thoughtful Expressions dies, and I use the next to the biggest. The second largest die is this white piece, and I already did that for the sake of the video. And then the last thing we're going to be using as far as stamp sets go is this Be My Valentine stamp set that I've used in the previous videos, but we're using the Love You stamp for the greeting on this card. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a lot of these things that we're doing on this card I've done in previous videos. So for the sake of the time on this, some of this stuff has already been pre-done. If you want to go back and look at how I colored the beaver using our Stampin' Up blends, feel free to do that. You'll see that on the last video and the one prior to that as to how I colored this beaver. Right now we're going to take this pecan pie, and it is 4 by 5 and 2/8, I believe. I'll measure this as we're doing this. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the tree ring embossing folder, and this is a hybrid embossing folder, and it comes with dies. So the die will actually fold into this, and when you run it through, you can actually die cut it as you emboss it. So when you see hybrid embossing folders, that's what that means, is it cuts and embosses at the same time, or you can do that. But I'm not going to do that with this card particularly. The tree ring dies are found, they're called tree ring dies, but they also pair with the Rings with Nature stamp set. So a lot of the dies that come with the dies will cut out these stamped images as well. And this is a great all-season stamp set. You've got a poinsettia, and you've got some spring and fall images as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with the embossing folders, the Stampin' Up logo is always on the top of our folders, and that would be the more textured side of your folder. So what we're going to do is I took Sweet Sorbet because my background colors were red, and this was intended for a Valentine card, but it's also a good anniversary card. So we're going to treat it as an anniversary card. So we're going to use Sweet Sorbet for the red, and I'm going to bring in a brayer. We have this really cool brayer, and it's long, and you can run it across your ink pad all different directions, and it covers ink really, really well. So you're just going to run it across your ink pad like so, and until you get it nice and juicy with ink. And then you're going to run it along the top part of your embossing folder and until you see color. Okay, and you can see that it's taken that color, that Sweet Sorbet red ink. Okay. Once you get that colored or inked like you like it, then you're going to set it on the opposite side of your embossing folder, and then you're going to bring it down, close it, and then run it through your emboss and die cut machine. Now, to keep it from moving and blurring your image, it's always smart to tape your folder down so when it goes through, your paper does not shimmy on the inside of your folder. And so now I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine and run this through. And then it's going to give me that nice embossed image on my paper. And bring this in, and there's your background. So the ink on the embossing folder just adds a lot more detail to your embossed images. And then you just run this through tap water, through your faucet or just a wet cloth, and it will get the ink off, completely off of your embossing folder. Okay, so now we're ready to start building our card up, and then we will stamp our saying at the very end. Okay, so we're using a real red piece of cardstock, and I want to say that this is 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this. I've already scored it. So you're going to fold it and then use your bone folder to give you a nice crisp fold, making sure that your corners are matching up so you don't have an overhang. Okay, then you're going to layer your embossed piece on top of the white. Okay, and this white piece, I want to say is 4 by 5 1/4, and then this is 1/8 of an inch, slightly small. The pecan pie piece is 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this is, I want to say this is 4 by 5 1/4 because it has a nice border around it. And then this one is going to be 3 7/8 by whatever that 1/8 mark is from your piece. Okay, so we're going to glue down this embossed piece. My glue sometimes does not work. Hold on. There we go. I just want enough to kind of go across this embossed piece. There we go. And that's a lot of glue, but it will serve its purpose. Okay, and I like the glue because you can shimmy it. You have like a couple seconds before it dries and takes hold. So if it's not exactly where you want it, then you can position it where it needs to go. Okay. And then this is just ready to glue flat down. So you can just use a running tape adhesive or the glue, whichever you prefer. But you're going to glue it flat down. Making sure your card's folding in the right direction before you put down your background. I can't tell you how many times I have actually put my card completely together and then at the very end find that I've put it on backwards, and it totally just ruined my day. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so here is that piece that I already die cut, and as you can see close up, there's like a little perforation going on around the edges, so it makes it really cute. And how you're going to do that is you're going to just pop dot that onto the center piece here. And there is no top and bottom to this die because it perforates all the way through to the other side. So you can very easily use either side. Okay, and I have it facing upward where the point is upward, so I'm just going to do that right now and put that in the very center of the card, top center of the card. Okay, now for the sake of the video, I went ahead and die cut my beaver out. I'm going to go ahead and use my BG10 Cool Shadow Copic marker that I've been using in the past. And for this, I am going to bring in my mat because I am going to need that. Sorry for that noise. I am going to need this for using my X-Acto knife here in a second. So we're going to bring this in. There we go. And I'm going to move that away because there is a glare when it comes to glass. Okay, and then I'm going to color this border around this beaver like I've done in my past videos. Just real quick. I didn't do this before and I don't know why, but okay, so. All right, so that's good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, you know, this little stick heart is all cute and all, but if you want something more drastic like this one, then you can do that. Okay, so here's what I did. I ran from the previous video, I used crumb cake and used cinnamon, or not cinnamon, copper clay ink to give me the darker tree rings. And what I did is I took this punch here that's found in the annual catalog and the Be Mine, which we'll use here in a second. But for this one right here, you're just going to come in and pick your tree ring that you want to use. And then you're just going to punch that big heart out. And you have a tree ring heart, which is really cool. Okay, and then same for the little one. The little one's the one he actually holds. So you just want to make sure that you get the image that you want. And then punch that out. And then you have a baby heart and you have a big heart, okay? And I went ahead and inked the outside edges with copper clay. And so that's pretty much what that one is, has got on it. And then on this one, we're going to do, on this one, because he has dark hands, I actually outline this heart with Early Espresso ink, and we will do that as soon as we get our beaver cut. So what we're going to do with the beaver is you're going to take an X-Acto knife or craft knife, making sure that you have a mat under you, because this will cut through and cut your table if you don't have a mat handy. And you're just going to go in and you're going to real fine cut around his hands. So it takes wearing glasses if you need glasses. So yeah, but you're going to cut, and it makes it easier if you rotate him with your left hand as you're cutting. That way you get better cuts. Okay, and then you're going to come back over here and do the same with the other hand. And you're only needing his hands. Now you may want to come up a little bit on his arm a little bit, so you have a little bit more leverage when it comes to lifting him up off the paper. But you're going to make sure that you go through that cardstock real well. Okay, and after you cut it, then you're going to be able to lift his hands up off of the image. So see, I've cut his hands out where you can put something under it. Okay, you can see that. There you go. There it is right there. Okay, so after you do that, then I just used a chalk dabber. I didn't want to use a really big blending brush for shadowing his hand. So I used a little chalk dabber, and we sell these in Early Espresso. And I like these because you can put them on your finger and use them like that, and not, you have control of it better when you do it that way. And I just went around it like this and just kind of made it stand out a little bit, because he is going up against the brown tones of the beaver, and you just kind of want to get it to where he's noticeable. Okay. So after you do that, then you're just going to bring this heart in like so. Now, it's not going to be just perfect. It's not going to be a perfect fit by any means. You are going to have some sticks coming up like in different little areas, but it's not going to be so noticeable. You can just position it, you know, just so perfect that it takes away from all that. So just play with it and just position it like you want it. And I think I'm happy with that. I may want to come down just a little bit. Just a little. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a pop dot under on the heart. And on this one, you might want to use like a little one because the heart is not that big. So we have mini dimensionals as well as the bigger ones. And you want to just bring his arm all the way out like that so you can get it in and positioned exactly where you want it. And then fold his hands over the heart. And the way you're going to do this is you're just going to put a tab of glue on his hands to where they fold up and stay there, okay? So, bringing in your Tombow glue, however you want to say it. You're just going to put a dab of glue, flip his hands up, and put just a dab, like a little dot of glue on the undersides of his hands. And then I used my X-Acto blade knife. And if you're careful with it, you can just use it to guide his hands over the heart, like so. And keep it there for like a couple seconds to where the glue binds to the hand. Okay. Just like so. And you may want to put something over him if he's not binding, if he's not adhering real well, then it's either put more glue on his hands or you could put something on top of him and put pressure on it until it stays. So for the sake of that, we'll just put that on top and let him air dry. Okay, or I'll just put a ink pad on top of him. Okay, so after you have the beaver done, then we're just going to do some punch out hearts, okay? And I already, this little plaid red heart, this is a Sweet Sorbet Designer Series paper. And I ran out of the paper, but I did find a scrap heart. So we are just going to go ahead and use this heart. It's also plaid on the back side. So you can use the plaid or you can use the polka dot. But for this one, we'll do the polka dot and have it just a little bit different. And then I used Sweet Sorbet cardstock and used my Be My Valentine punch that pairs with the Be My Valentine stamp set that we used in previous videos. And I just punched out that baby heart, this little baby heart here, to kind of pair with that. And it is a little bit darker, which is, actually this may be real red. It is, it's real red. So the baby heart's real red, and then the Sweet Sorbet Designer Series paper for the size that's a little bit bigger. And that came from the heart punch. So the only heart that I punched out with the Be My Valentine is the little one. Okay. But then don't just store it away, because you are going to punch out one of these bee bodies, okay? And that's going to end up being your speech bubble for, and then you're going to save these hearts because you can use those for an upcoming project. You're going to use the Early Espresso and stamp Love You from that Be My Valentine stamp set. And then we're ready to piece our card together and finish it up. Okay, so now you're going to come in and you're going to place your beaver. Let's just get all this put up. And we're going to let that air dry for just a little bit. Okay, so let me bring all these hearts out here. Okay, so we're going to pop dot the beaver up using the normal size dimensionals. And I believe I used 3 on him. Okay. You're just going to put him kind of in the center there. Then you're going to glue dot this heart here. on here. And I just use dimensionals. Now, because this one's already on dimensionals, I mean, we can put him over here. Or we can put him over here. I mean, it's just up to you. Let's put him over here. Okay, so because he's already pop dotted on this side, we're going to put the pop dot on the opposite side. So he's even. Okay, then we're going to pop dot the love you bubble. And like he's saying love you. And I kind of went over his face, so it looks like he's actually saying it. And then I pop dotted the Designer Series paper heart. And then I glue the other one flat down, the real red. Like that. And then the last finishing touch on this card is I used the brushed metallic dots. The brushed metallic dots. And they come in the bronze, the copper, and the gold. This is kind of a used sheet, but you get a lot of them when you get these brushed metallic dots, and they're found in the embellishment section of the annual catalog. I used the bronze because it kind of mimics the background of the card. I thought the copper and the gold was just a little too bold. And then I just put one of those in the center of the Sweet Sorbet heart, just to kind of give it some kind of embellishment. Okay, and there our card is finished. I hope you enjoyed this section of the Fluffiest Friends tutorial, and I hope to see you in the upcoming tutorial where I will actually be doing the bear next. Have a great evening, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.